Hey folks, Jake and I are here to shoot a response video for Ron Haggerty last week. He did a video, Give Me 10 Female Rock Artists. And yeah, I'm not going to title mine Give Me 10 because I got way more than 10 and I can't pick anybody to cut. So I've got about 5 here that I won't spend a whole lot of time on because probably everybody's showing them. And then I've got another 11 that perhaps you haven't heard of. So let's jump right in here. First, these are 5 ladies that I just couldn't leave out, even though everybody's showing them, because I just need to profess my love for them. Joan Jett, love her voice. This is her CD of cover songs. Great disc. And of course, everybody's probably showing Lita. The next one, probably getting shown a lot too. It's Warlock, featuring Dora Pesh. So here's the back of that CD, and a good picture of Dora. Then, of course, you got to talk about Ann and Nancy Wilson of Heart. And then one of my favorite rock ladies, Pat Benatar. Can't leave her off. One of my favorite episodes that CMT used to do a show called Crossroads, where they pair a country artist with a rock artist, and they did an episode with Pat Benatar and Martina McBride that I really enjoyed. Martina McBride was doing pretty good belting out those old Pat Benatar tunes. Anyway, so let's get started on the stack of ladies that maybe you might not be familiar with. First one I want to bring to your attention is Ashley Cleveland. This album is You Are There. Great album. I don't know that the whole thing rocks very hard, but the first song is Give Me Shelter. It's a cover of the Rolling Stones classic, and between Ashley's powerhouse vocals and her husband, Kenny Greenberg, he was the lead guitarist. Man, that thing rocks. Ashley Cleveland, great vocalist, very bluesy, very soulful voice, got a good rasp to it. Next, Margaret Becker. This is her debut album, Never for Nothing. Margaret, a lot of her later material would steer in the direction of maybe pop or even adult contemporary, but this first album was a rocker and drew a lot of comparisons. Of course, it came out in 1980. I don't see the date, but I'm pretty sure this was right in that around 87, 88. And this particular album, she was drawing a lot of comparisons to Heart. She has, again, she's a little powerhouse. She can really belt it, and I think that's why she was getting especially vocal comparisons to Ann Wilson. This album's got some great songs like Fight for God, The Giants Will Fall, um, Break the Silence, Sacred Fire. Great, great album. The next lady I want to mention is Amy Walter. And she was in the band, Christian rock band Fighter. And Fighter, though, was kind of was split. They were, what I mean by that is that basically they had two lead vocalists, and they would split up the songs. So Amy did some of them, and the drummer did the rest. But this album, Fighter, The Waiting, was a killer album that probably didn't get much attention when it came out on Wonderland Records. Great, great album. That's Amy kneeling right there. They put out this album, The Waiting, which I consider to be their best, and then their follow-up, which wasn't bad, Fighter, Bang the Drum. And then Amy did a solo disc, Hit Me in the Heart. And this album isn't bad. It was just maybe a little too polished. Maybe it could have been a little rougher around the edges. But they were probably trying to stay on some format of Christian radio. And also, you could kind of hear the late 80s heart influence on this album. But Amy Walter, this album really makes me wonder what she could have done if she had gotten half a chance. The next singer I want to talk about is Tiffany Arbuckle. Now this is a rarity for me because this is a debut album from '97, and for the most part, I'm allergic to '90s music. But I really enjoyed this. Of course, there's Tiffany Arbuckle right there. Some great songs on this. Sobering, Don't Turn Around, and Unforgivable. Great, great songs. And this is their debut. I'll put some links to some of these songs in the description. The next band I'm going to talk about, Fleming and John, and let me gush a little bit over this next vocalist. I mean, her name is Fleming McWilliams. Her husband is John Mark Painter. What a duo. Her husband dabbles. I mean, he's really thinks outside the box when it comes to rock. So I guess their sound would fall into the alternative category. But he can really he'll use just his musical palette is all over the place. So you can hear a little bit of world music. You can hear some 70s or even 60s pop. He's just pulling from all sorts of resources. But then he's also got this knack for coming in with a real rock and riff. And some of these tracks are pretty heavy. But Fleming McWilliams, her voice, oh my gosh, she can go from this really soft, controlled sound to wailing banshee, and she just got a different gear that makes her a rock vocalist. And so this is their debut album, Delusions of Grandeur. Another picture of them on the back. And there's some great songs on this. I'm Not Afraid. Break the Circle, man, she really goes after it on Break the Circle. Delusions of Grandeur, A Place Called Love, just fantastic album. And this is in case you go out looking for it and stumble across it in the wild. This is one version of it. This is another version of it. Now, I don't usually keep a lot of different pressings of albums. If I've got one, I'm pretty satisfied. But these are so distinctly different, and I love this album, so I kept both. But yeah, Fleming and John. The next lady, Nancy Jo Mann of Barnabas. This is from the recently reissued Barnabas collection. You can get this. I don't know if Rox Records or Christian Metal Distro has got it, but I know Boone's Overstock does. And so, Christian metal band fronted by Nancy Jo Mann. Let's see if I can get that pictured. There's Nancy Jo. Great band. They did. I think I've got like 5 of their CDs now, and 2 of them are pretty solidly metal. This one, Approaching Light Speed, and I think the other one's like, I'm not even going to guess. But Barnabas, great band. Another Christian rock band from the late 80s, Ransom, with Lisa Faxon. Make sure I pronounced her name right. Yeah, Lisa Faxon. Great vocalist. This album on Intense Records. It got a reissue recently. This is the original pressing. See, another good picture of the band on the inside. Yeah, really dug this album. She's got a great voice. Very legit. Is that not coming into focus? Might help if I hold it still, I guess. Anyway, so next, the next CD I'm going to show you is Tourniquet. No, I'm not, not going to put Ted Kirkpatrick on this list, but he did bring in guest vocals for this album. This is Onward to Freedom. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, but for the song Let the Wild Just Be Wild, he brought in this young lady. Get into focus. It's not gonna do it. Maybe I'll insert a picture, maybe like right here. Anyway, I thought Gabby Ray's vocals on that one song were worth the price of admission. She can really belt, and I'm looking forward to her doing something. I hope it's metal in nature, though it might not be. But hopefully, she's like, I don't know, she's probably still I think she was about 16 when she did that, so maybe 18 or 19 now, I don't know. Alright, 3 more to go. This is Helium Prime. I hope I'm saying that right. Kind of dig that cover. Kind of got a sci-fi look to it. Now, this band has recently picked up a new lead singer, and it's a guy. But on this album, for the recording of this album, they had a young lady by the name of Heather Michelle singing lead vocals. Metal album. Yeah, got that sci-fi kind of bent to it. I stumbled across the video and really liked it and was intrigued by the kind of sci-fi artistry of the album, and thought the video I saw was for the first single, or for the, yeah, it was a release of a single, Life Finds a Way. It's the third song on the CD, but yeah, that's Helium Prime. Yes, it is. See? Alright. Then, of course, I had to go back. I almost forgot her. Orianthi. Man, this Heaven in This Hell, great rocking song. So I couldn't leave her out of this video. And then finally, band I discovered last year. They need to get their first album. Need to get the new album, though they've had a changeover in members. But what I've heard so far, I've liked. But Thunder Mother, Road Fever. This is a great CD. I was scared when I heard that Claire Cunningham, who was the lead singer for the first two albums, she left. I've been following her Instagram. She's recently come to America. Hope she's going to put out an album sometime soon, and I hope it rocks, because she can really go. In the meantime, Thunder Mother has just put out a new album. I don't have it yet. Want it. But, and what I've heard sounds pretty good. Will I like them as much as I did during the Claire Cunningham era? I don't know. But, yeah, love this band. And, so, that's the female rockers that I have for you. And it seemed even the it's WrestleMania weekend. That's been on my mind a lot. And NXT, they kept in line with this theme. Watched Ember Moon, the women's champ, come out to her theme song as it was being performed by Lizzie Hale of Hailstorm last night. That was pretty cool. So, all right. So that's our. Oh wow, we've gone 18 minutes and a half. So let me sign off here, and from